What is up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Club. I am Alex.
I'm Pete.
And we're coming to you live from a couple places on the internet. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, or Kick.
Come on, Kick.
Come on,
Come
Kick.
on.
Bring it home, Kick.
Come
Let's
on.
do this, Kick. You could do it. Maybe you're listening later, wherever you get your podcasts. It's all good. We're happy when you're listening or watching. That is awesome. Also, I should mention, if you ever want ad-free versions of this show or any of the shows we do, patreon.com/comicbookclub. And maybe not the best show to plug this on, because not only is our co-host Justin not here because he's celebrating his birthday.
Yeah, he decided that his birthday is the most important thing.
Yeah, I believe he is jumping out of a cake, is what he told us. Like,
Yeah,
he got a
exactly.
big cake and he's going to jump out of it.
At his own party.
Yeah, and they baked him into the cake, right?
Yeah, which is apparently tricky to do, yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's very deadly most of the time. So we'll see if he's back here next week. But unfortunately, also our guest, Paulina Ganucheau, had to bow out at the last second here because she is dealing with some pet issues. Our thoughts are with her and her pet.
Yeah,
but we will be
tough.
taping another episode with her at some point soon. Regardless, it's just me and Pete here. So maybe this is going to be a little bit of a shorty one. But here's what I'm thinking, Pete. Let me know if this sounds good to you for this episode. Justin and I already taped a New York Comic Con wrap-up, but you were not at New York Comic Con.
That's right. I was having my own Comic-Con.
Yes, a Comic Con of the mind.
I was having an old friends visiting from out of town con.
And you talked about comics a lot, or?
No, comics didn't come up that much. Yeah, it was.
right.
Yeah, mostly old stories.
Oh, man, reminiscing.
Yeah, the good old days. You know what I mean?
By old stories, you mean like Chris Claremont X-Men, or what are you talking about?
No, mostly drinking and the silliness that ensued.
All right, so just to set up, we were talking about this before we got on because this is kind of a last-minute thing, but Pete and I are going to go over some of the highlights of New York Comic Con. Justin and I talked about them, but I'd love to get Pete's take on some of this stuff. In the meantime, hit us up with any questions, comments, thoughts about absolutely anything, and we will get to them live here on the show. It's a little bit of a, what do they call it, a hostful or something like that. I don't remember which podcast used that term. Somebody called them hostfuls.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody will remind me in the comments. But let me get my notes up here. First, we actually have a nice setup question that you're drinking garage beer? Because
Yeah, we got a shout out. Eric MC gave a shout out to the garage beer, so I was just showing his for him at home, I guess. You know what I mean?
Nice. We do actually have a good kickoff question here. This is from Stray Bullet over on the Comic Book Club Discord. Have to miss the live show tonight, which is a bummer, so have a great show tonight.
Everybody's missing tonight, man.
I know.
It's a tough night.
I do have an audience question since you guys just got done with NYCC. If you had to pick a favorite con from any year, any place, which con and which year would you pick?
I mean, it's hard not to say the first time you go to the San Diego Comic-Con. I feel like, and now the New York Comic-Con is supposed to be like bigger, but like that first time was just kind of magical. And I had like a couple really fun moments there. And I think like that's, I was waiting in line and my friend who was kind of going back and forth whether or not to get a lightsaber. And I would say we were in our 30s at this point, maybe early 40s. He came running over at the same time of this lady's kid came running over, and the kid was like 10 years old. My friend's 40 years old, and they were both jumping up and down because they just bought lightsabers. And just like that joy, I think is just kind of like a microcosm of everything that I saw at kind of the San Diego Comic-Con. Plus, we got really drunk that one night. Justin told Jim Lee he was the king of San Diego. I mean, that was a magical con.
Was that the same con where we did, I know we talked about this incessantly on the podcast, where we did the panel with Hard and Firm and a couple of other guests with the Buffy people watching?
I don't know. I
thought that was a different one.
I thought maybe that was New York.
That might have been, no, that was definitely San Diego, but I think that might have been the year before. So
Okay.
that one, though, was pretty great. I know we've talked about this before, just to be specific for anybody who doesn't know. We did this panel. We had a bunch of great guests on there. We're very excited about it, but we're in this enormous, like, 1,000-seat room. And the way that it works at a lot of cons and at San Diego for some of the rooms is they don't clear it. So after us was the Buffy sing-along, and it completely filled up the room. We had a bunch of people there to see us, but again, enormous room, completely filled to the gills, people standing on the walls waiting for the Buffy sing-along. And right before, I remember us talking, being like, oh, you're not here to see us. But we immediately engaged them and talked about it right there.
We
on
did
the
Buffy
panel.
bits at the top,
Yeah,
getting
at
them
the top
engaged.
to get them
Yeah.
in, know that we were on their side. And it was fantastic. Like, it was a great panel. I had a great time. Everybody was into it. And I was just really happy that we were able to win stuff over that way.
Yeah.
And as a little tie-in, Eric mentions Hostful was a Nerdist thing when it was Chris, Matt, and Jonah only. So there you go, just to answer that question. I'd also throw out there, I mean, in an entirely different way, this is actually a nice tee up for this, but I had a really nice time when we tabled for the first time at Baltimore. And this is specifically teeing it up because we're going back to Baltimore this weekend, or at least I'll be there. Hopefully, Pete will be able to join me at some point. But we're going to be at Baltimore Comic Con at table K14. A bunch of swag there and other things that you can check out. I'm working very hard on trying to have a new cocktail book based on Brett's awesome cocktails. We'll see. If
Will
that
there
actually
be
gets...
free candy?
There will be. This was Pete's incredible innovation. And I've been stocking up on Costco bags of candy for a while now. So, because I know we went through like so much candy at that con, but something like that, or like going to Terrificon the next year, was just really a joy to be behind a table and have that very different perspective and have people come up and be like, hey, I listened to the podcast and I like the podcast. And I'll mention, like, as a side thing, say both Justin and I, when we were talking about in the wrap up, we had people come up to us throughout New York Comic Con weekend, be like, hey, are you Alex or Justin from Comic Book Club?
Hey, which one are you?
Which one are you? You all kind of look the
Justin?
same now that you're getting older.
We're melding into one person.
Pretty much. We all have beards now, so it's basically the same thing. No, but people came up, and it was just like, it really honestly means a lot when people do that. It's very humbling. It's very nice to hear that it means something to people. So that's great. I mentioned the table thing just because it's not like as bombastic as a big panel or telling Jim Lee at his, penthouse party he's the king of San Diego. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's just like really nice to just be part of that community. So that's all.
Nice.
We actually got a couple of questions here before we get into any news items. So let's see. I'd rather do that. So let's see what happens. Ken and Melissa LG says, excuse me, what was the best cosplay you have ever seen at a Comic-Con?
Well, I was kind of flipping through pictures at Con not too long ago, and and Ghostbusters, the Rick Moranis, he's got the kind of helmet on, and they're kind of scanning him as his brain scan reveals that he's this ghost dog type of thing. I saw a girl kind of dressed as that, and it just blew me away. It was so funny and so well done. I had to chase her down and just be like, "That is awesome," and she was very excited when we took a picture.
Awesome. I'm going to see if I can bring this up now. This is maybe not the best one I've ever seen, but this is top of mind because here we go. This is, I think, the only cosplayer I took a picture at New York Comic Con.
Ooh.
Yeah, hold on.
Holding. I once saw, while we were talking about New York Comic Con, I once saw a Hulk that was standing on top of stools. It was really impressive.
Yeah. This one is pretty good. Okay, here we go. You'll like this, Pete. This is for anybody looking.
Oh, yeah.
Cosmic
Ghost Rider.
This
Yeah.
was great. You can't
that
really see it
helmet's
from my
insane.
bad picture, but he was in the skull so he could turn around. And
Oh,
he had
my
all
God.
the glowing going on and everything. The costume was really articulated and good. It legit looked like Cosmic Ghost Rider come to life, which was Pretty cool.
It's impressive. I mean, some people, I mean, it's really awesome to see what people can do in their imaginations. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it's great. Cosplayers, shout out to all of you.
Yeah.
This is a
Thanks for making people
non-con
smile.
question. Eric MCI wonders, Alex, you've written some comics, mostly for Marvel. Have you ever had any talks to write for a comic-centered TV show? Not.
Yeah, Alex, when's your TV show you're working on coming out? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Well, that's not happening right now. I will say, I feel like I could probably talk about this because I don't know any NDAs, but I did pitch many, many years ago. This is pre several shows that are kind of like this now and have happened since. But I pitched an animated series about Alfred going off on spy missions whenever Batman left the house.
Ooh.
So it was supposed to be like a jokey for kids thing, but since he was a formal special services guy, it's basically like an Inspector Gadget thing where they'd be bumbling through whatever they're doing with the Riddler or whoever, but it would really be Alfred who would be solving the mysteries. He was the Penny of that story. If you
Yeah, we get it. You like
Pennywise.
an Inspector Gadget. You know what I mean? You name your kid Penny, you know, like, yeah, we get it, man. We get it.
It's the only show I've ever seen, and it was really good. I wish they'd make more TV shows.
They have, man, so many more.
Not that I'm aware of. Nat says, are you able to enjoy a con while covering it or while tabling? Do you think you'd enjoy attending as a creator?
Well, I got to say, like, when we would go early, as soon as we were done working, we would run to the floor and run around and try to see all that you can. But then, you know, the more we went, the more I would kind of like take time to make sure that, like, I would walk in Artist Alley and kind of stuff like that. When you guys were up in the glass booth, it was hard to get on the floor, but I could still enjoy a con when I was covering it, as long as we weren't kind of stuck in one place.
Yeah. I like having a mission when I'm at a con. Like I think about that almost every time I go to a convention that if it was just me wandering around, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but like that would drive me insane. I'd be there for an hour
What?
and I would 100% leave because
That's the
like
best.
I'd look at everything. I'd be like, this is loud. I'm going to go home. So to answer like the different parts of this question, covering it is very different from tabling, is very different, I assume, from attending as a creator. They're like three very different things. Covering it, I like because it gives me those tent poles of like this weekend, we had different interview appointments, and in between that I had different panels. Like I had a whole slew of panels that I wanted to check out, but based on timing I was like, all right, I guess I can make this one, so I'll check that out and I'll write something up from that panel. And it was nice to have that between going to the con floor or walking around looking at stuff, bumping into people, saying hello and chatting, so that versus the amorphous nature of the other thing. And as a creator, you know, I heard, this sounds like gossip. It's not. It was an interesting story that James Tynion IV told at the Tiny Onion panel this weekend, where,
GT4.
yeah, he was saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was saying that New York Comic Con, before he split off and started doing his own thing, and he was doing no disrespect to DC, he loves all the people at DC, but he said that New York Comic Con used to be his worst week of the year.
Oh,
It was
wow.
the worst week of the year because it was so high stress, because what we don't get to see is behind the scenes, everybody is taking meetings and running after editors and trying to pitch their books because there's their one chance to see everybody face to face.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said it was highly political the entire time. And he said this as if this was a random example, but I'm sure it 100% is not. He was like, yeah, it's the sort of thing where you've gotten 3 years of a storyline that you've been working your ass off on turned down, and then you got to go downstairs and smile and greet fans. And it's the worst. And I was like, oh, that is 100% something that exactly down to the year happened to you. So I think that's the experience with a lot of people. And when we talk to creators, everybody is always very nice with their time, and I appreciate it. But like, particularly by Sunday, there's a different, James Tiny Onion the Fourth. That you wouldn't believe it. That's why he called the company that now. It's crazy. Yeah, I think there's just like this light has gone out of their eyes by the end of the weekend where they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I going next? What's happening? So it's a very different thing because, particularly for those who are tabling, if you're a high-end creator, you're at your table, you're doing a signing, you're running upstairs, doing a panel, talking to people. You have to be on for 4 solid days, and that's hard. You have no breaks. I remember, and then I'll wrap this up, but Justin's talked about this a lot. Last year at New York Comic Con, the two of us met Scott Snyder on like this hotel roof Sunday morning after he just hung out with Best Jacket, which is his people who pledge and students and other people. And I just remember very distinctly him when he came over to us, like sitting down on a couch and being like, and I take that as
hey,
like a little bit of
guys.
a compliment because we've known him for years at this point where he's like, okay, I can relax for a little bit for a second. This is not going to be a high pressure interview. And we know him and we'll give him a minute. But just that level of like, I've been going so hard. It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, got another question here. Pete, the first time you phrased tight nanners and all its iterations, did you know in the moment that you were practicing magic? Did you know what you had then?
I don't think it's blown up as much as you think there, Eric MC, but I appreciate the love. No, I just like to say things to make me laugh, and that I hope that makes Alex and Justin laugh. That's what I'm trying to do, is just bring some joy. So yeah, I don't know.
You're like the Santa Claus of weird phrases.
That's sure. I'll take that. Why not?
All right. While we wait for maybe some other questions to come in, let me open up my notes about New York Comic Con. I'll throw some stuff.
Yeah, give us the breakdown, man.
I'll give you sort of like, rather than reiterating every beat like I did on the wrap-up show with Justin, I'll give you sort of like the highlights and see what you think, Pete. All right?
Sure.
So first one, this came out right at the top. Marvel's Ultimate Universe is ending in April. What do you think about that, Pete? What
Good.
now, Pete?
Awesome. Great.
Wow.
I never liked it.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, hot take.
No, I mean it's had some cool moments, that's for sure, but overall, you know how I feel about that kind of stuff where it's like you fall in love with the storyline, but it's not a real storyline, so you can never see it again. So it's always such a weird thing. So
wow.
Yeah.
All right. Hot take right there. Well, what about this on the other edge of the spectrum? We knew this was going to happen, but DC Vertigo is back. And they announced 10 titles coming out.
I just want the emotional roller coaster that Ken is on right now. I love it. Ken and Melissa LG. Ken's like, yeah, I love it. I'm with you, Pete. Then he's like, what? Yeah, I just crushed his heart. Ken, I'm so sorry. We were having such a good time and I ruined it. Classic. I apologize, bro.
In the comments here, ending like for real or turning into something else. Marvel is saying it's ending. I will tell you, Justin and I had a conversation this weekend that strongly indicates it is not ending. But that's just to put on my bleeding cool hat for a second. I wouldn't believe it. It's going to be something else. I think what they're going to do is end the story they're telling and then do something, some new iteration. But DC Vertigo, I'll mention a couple of titles. There were 10 titles to mention, but to throw some out that you might like or be excited about, Pete. We got a new book called End of Life from Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh.
Pew, pew. Cool. What are you talking about, End of Life?
End of Life, I believe this is a zombie book.
It's about getting old?
No, it's a zombie book set in a zombie world where zombies form a society, and one of them's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wait a second. So let me get this straight. The idea for the book is like even a zombie can get bored with his own life and go, man, this is just too rough out here. And it's like, chasing brains isn't like it used to be.
100%.
Wow, that's a lot of hope-filled idea there.
Hold on, I'm building up. We got another zombie book, Necretaceous by Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson.
Necretaceous, I love it.
This is about zombie dinosaurs.
Necretaceous. Oh man, I'm reading that book on the name alone. That's just fun.
Interesting. It's funny because I think everybody I talked to was like, Necretaceous, that doesn't sound like a Vertigo book, but I knew it. I knew Pete would like it.
Oh man, that's great.
We got a new Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips book, which we talked to Chris Condon. They've been working on this for 2 years at this point. If you want to listen to the interview, you can listen in the podcast feed. I believe it's already up. But this is a noir book a series of mysteries that are going to be told over the series 6 issues. So that's pretty cool. And the last one I'll mention that I'm pretty sure you're going to like is 100 Bullets, the U.S. of Anger.
Oh, 100 Bullets is back?
By Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso.
Oh, come on, dude. That is exciting.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a series. Yeah, Brian Azzarello, man. That dude, first off, fun. We had a lot of fun with that guy on the cruise. He was a blast to hang around with. But also, man, you can tell, like, he likes the darker stuff. His humor, his writing goes there. So, yeah, man.
The thing that's kind of, oh boy, I wonder how far they're going to go with this is he was talking about why did they come back? And after they finished Blood Brothers Mother, they were talking about what to do next. And they were complaining about the political situations in their respective countries. We're like, what can we do about this? Oh, I know what we can do about this. Make a comic. So,
there we go. All right.
Let's see. What else? Oh, Pete! I don't know if you know about this announcement. Do you know about the new contenders who are coming into DCKO?
Oh, no. What's up?
Oh, boy. Wait, hold on. I want to see if I can bring up the graphic here. So just give me like 1 second.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
You talk about something. What's your favorite thing about DCKO so far?
Well, that's been tough because the brackets of, I'm so focused on my bracket, I can't really enjoy the comic as much as I want because I keep, like, as I'm reading it, I'm steering it towards my bracket, which is just not a good way to enjoy comics, man. This whole bracket thing has got me.
Well, I'll tell you one crazy thing that happened was at the DCKO panel, they basically spoiled the entire next bracket as well as some absolutely wild things that happen. And pretty much we're all going to be wrong. But I will tell you, because I think you'll love this. I've told this whole story already. But at the Jim Lee and Friends panel on Saturday night, here, I'm going to cue this up. I'm going to get this ready. Because I want to see your reaction when the whole thing is revealed. So Jim Lee, the whole idea of that panel is Jim Lee, like, you don't know who's going to be on. It's just his friends, ... So first he brought up a couple of people. He brought up like, I'm blanking on the name of the guy who...
Brian Azzarello.
No, Troy Baker. Video game voices. He is doing the voice of the Joker in Killing Joke that they're doing for High Volume. That was fun. He played Mark Hamill's voice message as the Joker that he made for Jim Lee.
Wow.
Which was crazy. So people call Jim Lee and they're like, what's going on? What's happening? So that was very cool. But right after that, he brought up Ed Boon, the guy who co-created Mortal Kombat. They were talking about Mortal Kombat 2. And he was explaining that for years, they've been trying to get Mortal Kombat characters in DC. And finally, Ed Boon agreed. And in fact, Sub-Zero is going to be in DCKO.
Get over here. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
100% not kidding you.
Oh, my God.
As well as some other people, which we'll get to in a second. Here's Scott Snyder. They brought Scott Snyder up, and what they explained is that, for anybody who doesn't know DCKO, the whole idea is that, like, they're trying to get this Omega energy so they can fight Jesus. And not Jesus. Sorry, I got distracted by something else. Omega energy so they can fight Darkseid. That's what I get for reading a comment while I'm talking.
I was like, what? They're fighting Jesus?
Hold on.
This just took a turn.
So there's they can fight Darkseid, and what they realize is they can open up portals to other dimensions so that they can get even more Omega energy and train as kind of like bonus levels, like unlock other characters.
Yeah.
So they started announcing the characters one by one, and I'm curious, should I just put up this graphic so you can see it all at once and be overwhelmed, or should I tell you one by one?
No, I want to see it. You
want to see it? You want to see what it is? Okay, here we go, and I'll read off for our podcast listeners. Okay, so Sub-Zero is the one he announced, and then one by one they brought up the rest of these characters. They are...
Oh, what?
Homelander from The Boys.
Oh, my God.
Red Sonja, Vampirella, Annabelle from the Conjuring series, and Samantha Strong, the serial killer bear from Pete's Most Terrifying comic book.
My God. I was like, there's no way that's really. Yeah.
This is so. I will say, when they said this in the panel, because they went to the order of like, they were like, okay, so we're going to have Sub-Zero. Also, we're going to have somebody from our Warner Brothers friends. We're going to have Annabelle from The Conjuring. She's already been in Aquaman as an Easter egg, so why not throw her in there? And I was like, okay, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, because she doesn't do anything. She just sits in a glass case. And then they're like, but there's a couple more. We're going to have Homelander for the boys. Again, like, crazy, but makes sort of sense, because Homelander and the boys used to be a DC comic book before it moved over to Dynamite. Then Red Sonja and Vampirella. And then I wish I could remember exactly how Jim Lee or Scott Snyder phrased it, but they're like, and we're going to have one last contender. She's a serial killer. She's a bear. And in my head, I was like, no. They cannot possibly be about to say this. And they brought it up, and they said, Sam Strong from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. God. I want to remind you, I'm a professional journalist, right? Right? Literally on the panel, when that happened, I shouted, what? No! Could not help myself.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I love it. I hope this bear gets murdered first round. Like, I cannot wait for this bear to get murdered. It's going to be great. Oh, wow. What a fun twist. This is so cool.
It's crazy. I mean, there's been a lot of arguing about
what a fun, like, first off, incredible idea, right? From beginning, like, let's have this whole showdown, this fun bracket thing, right? But then to unlock these other kind of insane levels is just, wow, what an addition. This is a blast, man.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like negative thoughts about it on our Discord, so I don't want to discount those, but I do think like they haven't announced specifically what it is, but it sounds like it's a one-shot on the side. It's a fun thing to throw in there and elevate other comics properties and throw things in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, because if Homelander took it all the way, you know what I mean? Like, that would just be, oh my God. That would just be insane.
So, yeah, we'll see what's going to happen with that. That's pretty wild.
Homelander versus Superman? I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the wildest announcement of the con.
Would be bananas.
In my estimation. Just to bring up another one, this is what distracted me from Michael Tillman. DC is publishing the long-anticipated Swamp Thing Meets Jesus storyline, and this is actually Swamp Thing Meets Jesus, but just a few years ago canceled Mark Russell's Second Coming, where Jesus teams up with Superman. Why does DC hate MR? So, just to give a little more context here, back in 1989, Rick Veitch, when he was working on Swamp Thing, had a storyline where Swamp Thing was at the crucifixion. It was Swamp Thing 88 through the next 3 issues, and it never got published. The title got canceled instead. So finally what they're doing is they're sprucing up and finishing that issue 88, releasing it exactly with the trade dress it was released with or would have been released with back in 1989, and then continuing with the next 3 issues. They had a script, but they didn't have art for it. And then when they release it in trade, again, they're going to try to make it so that it's Volume 3, the same way that Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Rick Veitch's run was. So that's pretty cool. I will throw out there, I think the big thing is, and there's certainly some things that go against this that we could get into, but I think like it's a change in the way that DC is looking at stuff. Like they are clearly trying to push forward artistically, this particularly in the Black Label, Absolute, Vertigo lines. We were just talking about that, which is all from the same editor, Chris Conroy. So I think it's just like probably Chris Conroy coming up with the right way to frame it versus whatever happened with Mark Russell in Second Coming. Clearly it was the wrong administration of DC at the wrong time, would be my guess.
Oh man. Well, I just love this comment here. Like, oh man, it would be so cool to see Superman stomp Homelander. Yeah, that would be such a blast. Oh, so that would be amazing to watch. That just got me really excited.
Eric, our tech producer, asks, is it me or is Alex's mic a bit quiet and Pete's a little bit hot?
Dude, I'm coming in hot.
Are you coming in hot?
I got a little up on the microphone. I got a little too excited.
I don't know. You guys tell me. You're the ones listening. It looks good to me just on the back end, but
I'm going to back off the mic a little bit. I got a little too excited.
And I'm going to get into the mic.
Oh, man.
How's that? I'm going to That's, I believe, audio-wise, you're supposed to rest your nose on the mic shield while you're talking in the mic. Is that better?
Please
All
stop.
right, I'll stop.
Please stop.
And just to follow up, Derek says Second Coming found a great home at Ahoy. I agree. That is frankly a better place for it. So there you go. Nat says, what are some other characters you would add to DCKO, assuming you can get the rights to anything? You could each pick, let's say, 5. That's too many. Just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Who would you want to see in DCKO? Because I'm pretty happy with Sam, which is just bonkers.
I would love to see like Goku or something in Dragon Ball Z would be insane. My boy Piccolo would be nuts. I would love to see Panthro from Thundercats. Soundwave would be sick. Oh my God, there's just so many.
Yeah,
Negan.
Who'd you say, Negan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great pick. That would be really good.
I just want to see Negan die over and over again for what
so
he did.
Anybody, I talked to IDW a little bit about how Sam Strong got in, and there's an article up at comicbookclublive.com about that. But the short answer is that like DC came to them and said, hey, what do you want to do? Who can we put in? And I cannot imagine they only went to Dynamite and IDW. So this is just me extrapolating and speculating. But like, I'm wondering, who do they want to get from Dark Horse? Who do they want to get from Image that didn't get in? And I think somebody from the Energon universe would have been absolutely wild to cross over those streams. A number of people mentioned they were really surprised given all the DC Marvel crossovers that we're not getting something in there. But I do think that's trying to keep it separate. And Hellboy was the other one.
Hellboy. Right? That would be amazing. The chat is having so much fun. Columbo, John Wick. This is just...
Mr. Miyagi, Mike Tyson, Mr. Burns.
People are having a
Charizard,
blast.
Marv from Sin City versus Oracle. These are all great ideas. Like literally Scott Ice Cream Man.
Yes. Oh man, that would be so
Ash
creepy.
Evil Dead. The girls from Ghost World. Absolutely. Harvey Picar.
Oh wow. Great. What a twist. Yeah. Talk
Comes
their
back,
ear
gets
up.
killed by Batman. Great. A couple of other DC things that I'll mention. Oh, one other Swamp Thing I'll mention. There's going to be a crossover next year for Black Label called Swamp Thing is Killing the Children.
Oh, no.
Pretty great. Good stuff.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Throw out a couple more things to you. They announced after DCKO, they're going to have like a line-wide branding, sort of like all in, called DC Next Level, where the idea is to give creators their shot on titles they're really into. And that includes Joshua Williamson is going to write Legion, Scotty Young and Jorge Corona on Lobo.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Greg Rucka is coming back to Batwoman.
Oh, wow.
With Danny on art and a couple of other titles. There's going to be Deathstroke, the Terminator, Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, Zatanna, the Demon, Batman, Shadow of the Bat, and Barbara Gordon Breakout.
Ooh, man.
So there you go. Big stuff.
A lot of great stuff. That's fantastic.
What else? Oh, there's going to be an Absolute Catwoman miniseries, 6 issues.
Cool.
And that's going to be by Che Grayson and Scott Snyder with art by Bengal. There's also a 4-part Black Label series called Sirens Love Hurts, which is basically like Sex in the City, but with the Gotham City Sirens and Black Canary. And each issue is going to take place over a different season, leading from Green Arrow and Black Canary getting engaged all the way to their wedding. And the way they described it on the panel, which I thought was pretty funny, was it's long Halloween for the girlies. And I was like, that's good. I'm sold. Sounds good.
I like how you're like, I'm in.
I'm in.
This girlie's in.
Yeah, I'm in. Sounds good. They seem to be having a fun time. Bunch of other stuff came out. There's going to be a Marvel Spider-Man Carnage Venom crossover called Death Spiral that's coming out next year. And then there's going to be over the summer, and we talked to Al Ewing about this because he's going to be writing it, Queen in Black, a big line-wide crossover is going to happen.
Cool.
So there you go. And they also announced Marvel announced the next X-Men teams that are coming out after Age of Revelation. To throw out a couple to you that I think will make you mad.
Oh, fun.
Let's see. So X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and Wolverine are staying pretty much the same. We're getting Generation X 23 from Jody Hauser and Jacopo Camagni. Inglorious X-Force from Tufchi Feely Tim Seeley and Michael Stamaria. Magic and Colossus by Ashley Allen and Germaine Peralta. Rogue by Erica Schultz and Luigi Zagaria.
Ooh, that's very exciting. Erica does amazing work.
Murwa Ayodele is staying on Storm for Storm Earth's Mightiest Mutant, is what they're calling it. And the two I'm curious to get your take on. I'll work in the order of most interest. Wade Wilson Deadpool by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw, what seems to be a more serious take on Deadpool. How do you feel about that?
That makes me pretty nervous, but okay.
And then I think this is the most anticipated series of 2026. Very excited to talk to you about this. This is Alex Pactendall and Roger Antonio, great team, doing a 5-issue series titled Cyclops. What do you think about that, Pete?
Cool. Everyone's favorite. You lost me at the title.
So
weird, right? Weird to double down on Cyclops like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Where was this? Oh, Ken says, I need Avengers news. LOL, please. Here's
it's
what
Ken and Melissa. Okay,
yes,
please don't ignore Melissa.
Yes, I would never.
It's a package deal
for sure. The thing I was surprised about Marvel's news, particularly in relation to DC's news, which was like this fire hose of crazy stuff that they were throwing out there. But Avengers, we didn't really get much. Like, we found out Joshua Williamson is writing Iron Man, so that's pretty cool. And I think he has a cool take on it. Like, he's looking at it as the real invention that came out of the cave wasn't Iron Man, it was Tony Stark. And so AIM, led by Madame Mask, is trying to find their own Tony Stark. Like, they're trying to reproduce Tony Stark somehow.
So they're throwing dudes in caves and ripping their hearts out?
Pretty much, yeah. That's the first scene. So yeah, but it was a weird showing for Marvel. Like, they just sort of came there, they're like, here you go. Versus DC, was like, hit the ground running and did not stop all con long. We got another non-con question here, since there's a bunch more news items we could talk about if we want, but do you have a favorite Amalgam comic? Not all the titles were great, but some were definitely better than expected. Side note, I was pretty into the trading cards for the series.
Cool. All right, fun share.
Any Amalgam books, Pete?
I don't know what
Claw?
that... Ooh, is that what that means? Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was the era, to be honest, when I was like not reading. I saw it on stands and was like, what is this?
Does Death's Head count?
Was that a combo?
I don't think so, but
no, that's not an.
It was weird.
There was Dark Claw. There was Spider Boy. There were other ones. Access is my favorite Amalgam character. That's what I'll say.
Nice.
Bring it back. All right. Well, yeah, Dark Claw was trying to create Tony Stark. Nat is confused. What does that mean? Great question, Nat. There's a title called Iron Man that's coming out next year. You can read for all of the answers.
Yeah.
Well,
just the idea, Nat, is that, like, he wasn't Tony, and then he came out of that cave Tony. You know what I mean? Like, he was
Anthony Stark when he went into the cave, and he's like, hey, call me
He was kind
Tony.
of a douchebag, and then he basically almost died and then kind of reinvented himself into the Tony Stark that we know and love.
Right. It's like how every time we go into this podcast, we die, and then we come out as something way worse.
Why does he think just you? I was the one who stopped to
I
talk
think it was
about
sarcastic. I think it was sarcastic.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's stop having an adversarial relationship with Nat in the comments and instead move on to
Nat Towson, man, that guy, man. I tell you what.
Yeah, why don't we move on to our next section, which is trivia, and for that, I'm going to turn it over to Pete LePage.
All right. This is the part we give back to you, the lovely audience. It's an opportunity to win free $3 in the form of a gift card to Midtown Comics. All you need to do is first hand up or a hey, pick me, and you will win $25 free in Midtown Comics online, because that's where we buy our gift cards from.
That's where I send my paycheck. Ooh, we had at the same time, too. Which one are you going to pick, Pete?
I don't know. Has Ken and Melissa won it before?
I mean, I think they both have, but it's your choice. Whoever you love the most.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
All right. Ken won by like a split second. Sorry, Zed Man.
Yeah,
we'll get you next time.
Come back next week, man. Get us next week.
Yes. All right. Take it away, Pete.
Ken and Melissa, here we go. Today's trivia is about One World Under Doom and a small nod to the legend Claudia Cardinale. R.I.P. Jill McBain from Once Upon a Time in the West. All right, please listen to all three options before making your selection. Here we go. Question number 1. Who is writing One World Under Doom? Is it A, Ryan North, B, hey, Bert, I know you're a huge fan of Tony, but yikes, bro, C, Umberto Fantoni?
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy, yeah.
Curious who this person is that you're paying tribute to. Are these people that mean something to you? Or are you just kind of looking through the obituaries?
Yeah, it's both. It's a little of both, but yeah.
A
is correct. Thank you, Ken. And Melissa. Jeez, what am I doing? All right, here we
LG.
go. Okay, question number 2. Which Zelb's favorite said this? One World Under Doom is impacting the entire Marvel universe. Is it A, Tom Brevoort, B, all I'm saying is if I had a niece, I would want to be close? Well, not Julia Farnese.
Wait. Was that supposed to be Julia Farnese?
That's what I said, Julia Farnese.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was F-A-R or F-O-R. Like, I wouldn't want Julia Farnese or Julia Farnese.
Farnese, yeah. She keeps her niece far, which is just, as an aunt, not...
Yeah,
not
I keep my niece far and my nephews farther. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Why do I say that?
Yeah, why do you say that?
I honestly don't know. Ken didn't give another answer yet, but I'm going to say A.
A, yeah.
Oh, A, since he is the EIC. Tom Ford is not the EIC. He's just an editor. But
okay. Here we go. Question number 3. What led to this event? A, blood hunt after Doom got the powers of Sorcerer Supreme. B, hey, how come you're weirded out by Mario and his girlfriend? Well, have you ever met someone who's into sharing? C, Mario Pascucci.
Wow, you got some good names this time, Pete.
Yep.
Let's see if Ken can make it a hat trick or Melissa.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
A is correct.
Congratulations. You have won a gift card to Split to Midtown Comics. Shoot us an email and we will get that off to you. And Pete, what is the secret movie you were referencing?
Of course, Alex. I'm talking about the 1963 comedy Pink Panther.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, as we all know, new comic books are great, and they're coming out tomorrow. Pete, What are you looking forward to that's going to be in stores?
Well, I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman number 26. I'm sick of this Mouse Man situation, and I'm hoping Wonder Woman's got some answers. So we will see, but amazing art, and I can't wait for the issue. As well as One World Under Doom and Hectoplasm Hunt the Bigfoot number 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I am curious to check out a bunch of titles. I'll throw out there Yuletide number 1
Oh,
from the Oni
yes,
Press.
dude.
They've been hyping this one up for a while since San Diego Comic-Con is sort of like Goonies, but for winter mythology stuff. Looks interesting. I talked to the creators a while back, and they seem pretty excited about it, so curious to see what happens with that. Also, I'm going to throw out Amazing Spider-Man. I have been loving this run, so I'm really excited for the next issue, which is a new feeling for me.
Oh, that's great.
Honest, Pete, so
That's exciting. Comics, man. It's fun when comics light you up,
Exactly. And I will also throw out there one of Pete's favorite titles from one of his favorite creators, Artificial number 2, coming out from Image Comics by Maria Lovett.
Yeah.
Always like what she's doing. Always weird, sexy stuff going on there with a bunch of tech and whatever.
Yeah, you're really having a great time with that, which is awesome. And the art's unbelievable. So
yeah, for sure. So all of those titles and many more are going to be in our Stack podcast, which will be Wednesday, 9 a.m. in the Stack feed and the Comic Book Club feed. And folks, that is it for this week's show. We don't have anybody to thank, but you should. I will plug anyway. Check out Disney Villains Maleficent #1, which is coming out October 29th from Dynamite. That's our guest, Paulina Ganucheau, who we're hoping to talk to anyway, what she would have been
Great
able to talk about. Also, this weekend, please come say hello at Baltimore Comic Con.
Yeah.
I'll be at table K14, like
K14.
Is that K14 the Widowmaker?
I don't
The
know.
movie? I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
K-12?
Anyway, K-12? I'm not sure. Anyway, next week's guest, we're going to Peglo will be here to talk about To the Stars and Back, and Ben Passmore will be here to talk about Black Arms to Hold You Up.
Nice.
Comic Book Club News, our daily comic book news show Monday through Friday, every day of the week. Sons of a Gun, our DC podcast, just finished up talking about Peacemaker, and we all love the finale equally. Let's hear it for the boys. How are the boys podcast? We are finishing up the season of Gen V. We'll be talking about that.
Oh, man.
Patreon.com/Comic Book Club to support this show and all the shows we do. ComicBookClubLive.com for this podcast and many more. Until next time, we'll see you at Justin's birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Justin.
Thanks, everybody. And as Michael points out, it was K19, the Widowmaker. So we just missed it. We're so close.
K19.
I'll see if I can steal that table.
Hey, take care of yourself out there.